Hello, everyone, and welcome to That's Pretty Crafty. I don't have a way to change what the screen says, but sitting beside me is not DB. It is instead my good friend E. And they're joining us to talk about pirates. Hey! So hi, everyone. Welcome back. We had our usual holiday break because, you know, stuff happens and winter happens and illness happens and life happens and
work happens.
Work happens.
When you're in retail.
Yeah. Those of you who also hang out for Crits and Knits may have noticed that our lovely Owen was not in attendance for a little while. That's because life. Oh. But we've got E here today.
Yay!
Yay! So we'll start off the way we normally do. And E, what have you been working on crafty-wise?
I finally finished my wrap with a hood. It's downstairs on my desk where I will be using it most of the time, but I think I have a picture that I might be able to hold up to the screen here.
Excellent.
Oh.
Ooh.
Nope, apparently not.
It comes and goes. There you go.
There, mostly. Mostly.
Tune into Crits and
anyway,
Knits
it's very snuggly and warm.
It looks so cozy.
It's really squishy and plush. So I really like it.
I like it.
And then I started on my second leg warmer / leg armor piece.
Oh, right.
Because I finished the other one and then was like, I need to take a break from this. So yeah. I have finally picked up the second one.
Yay! Well, that's awesome too. Exciting times.
How about you?
Well, I finally finished this friggin' perler bead house.
Yay!
I'm gonna hold it up here. So this is the gingerbread house, and it is a lot. So the kit says it has 10,000 beads, and I'll believe that. But there's enough that I could probably make another one of these.
Oh wow!
Like, I've got a ton of beads left over. And so this is the house itself. Mm-hmm. There's also, sitting on the table over there, I didn't want to bring them because there's not a really good way to show everything. There are 4 little candy cane fence segments. There is a Christmas tree with presents. There is a Rudolph and a snowman.
To go inside of it?
To sit around the edge, to make a whole little diorama sort of thing. And, but yeah, the point is I finished the damn thing. There are little Christmas trees in the back here.
Ah.
Little Santa.
It looks like Minecraft.
It kind of does. So, yeah, after the last episode, DB and I decided that maybe we won't do one of these every year and collect them because it was a lot.
A pain in the patoot.
I mean, I don't mind doing it, but it was so much. So much. And the ironing them is the biggest pain, especially like these really big sections, because the beads don't all melt equally. And so some would be really almost too melted and others would be barely fused at all. And with the iron, as you're going over top of it, you start building up static. And when you lift up the iron, the paper comes, and the paper is sort of half fused to a couple of beads, and so those beads pop off, but not all of them. And so you're dealing with like hot, half fused beads, and you're trying to put them back on the little thing. I
haven't done perler beads since I was like 6 or 7.
Apparently there is a reason for that, and that is that 6 and 7-year-olds have more patience than adults. More patience than adults when it comes to those sorts of things. But the good news is I have a lot of perler beads left, and I've got 2 big rectangle or squares and a small square. So when my nieces come to visit, I have enough perler bead bases for them to all play at the same time.
Nice.
And a bunch of beads. So I think we're going to have a perler bead day. Where I just give them the beads and the little thingy and say, hey, make whatever you want, and when you're ready, I'll iron it for you.
Nice.
And because it won't be all this interconnected crap. That was the other thing, is these ones have, in the pattern, they've got spaces where there are holes because they have to connect to other pieces to make it 3D.
Oh.
So you can't do what I like to do with perler beads and iron them till the holes almost disappear in the middle, because then you've ironed them so much that the spaces where things are supposed to fit through don't fit anymore.
Mm.
Perler beads. But it's done! And I've got a
It is done!
Christmas thing. It's a thing. It's done. That's
Hurrah.
what matters. And I've been doing some knitting. I finished... What did I finish? I finished all 3 of my Advent calendar hats. And of course they're in the other room because they are blocking. So they're still vaguely damp. I also finished my Advent calendar shawl that I made with our friend of the podcast from Crits and Knits, Fantasy Fiber Arts. She had a Johnny Depp yarn vent set of minis. It was fantastic. The colors were all based on his movies.
Yeah.
And I'll see about, at some point, putting them up on my Instagram. But you can only have so many pictures at a time on Instagram, so I gotta plan out the time so that I can post sequentially and get them all in there. But it was packaged really cute. Every different yarn was in its own little container, whether it was, some of them were bags, some of them were like white cellophane bags. There were little cardboard boxy pillowcase things. And it was all tied with ribbons, and it was all very cute and very
nice,
very aesthetic.
And to have that much patience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I paid her well for it, so.
Oh yeah.
There are times that I can have patience if someone's giving me enough money. Sometimes. But yeah, that's what I've been working on and finishing up. But none of you are here for all that crap. You're all here for the pirates, right? So, as always, this is a spoiler-full zone. If you haven't watched Our Flag Means Death and you want to, maybe stop listening to us today and come back and rewatch after you've watched the series. It's only 10 episodes.
And they're half hour.
Yep, they are. Except for the last one, which is a little bit longer, which I did not take into account when I tried to plan my timing for today. Because I have excellent time management skills. I may have gotten all the way to the last episode and halfway through it, and then didn't have a chance to finish last night because I had to sleep, and then I had to finish today. So I was finishing literally minutes before we started streaming, but it's okay because I finished. And they are renewed for season 2, right?
Yay.
So, yeah.
That is correct.
Good.
They finished filming, but unfortunately with HBO that doesn't mean much.
Right. But the important thing is that they were renewed for season 2. So
yes,
we should be getting, because the way it ended, I need more. I need more. So, yeah. Before we get too much into it, let's talk about what we're doing today.
Yay.
In the first episode, the pirates of the whole crew got to make their own flags for the ship because they needed a flag for the ship. And you can see one of the examples behind E over there. And why not?
Cats, because they have knives in their feet.
and I loved all the explanations they gave. I should have brought down my button tin and put buttons all over mine, but I couldn't figure out how to work that in with my design. But there were lots of buttons.
Yes.
Lots of buttons. They must have had some.
And a guy called Buttons, even.
That's true. I got lost with pirate names because I'm very bad with names in general when there's that big of a cast. By the end, I was starting to get them. And, there are a couple that, like, I know Jim.
Yeah.
And Black Pete. And Blackbeard. And Lucius.
Yeah.
I've got some of them. And there are going to be some that I describe by what they're wearing. Like the guy with the knit hat that I want to make.
Oluwande.
Oluwande, yes. He's the one that has the knit hat that I want to make.
Yes.
Because
there's patterns out there.
I was going to say, I've looked and I found patterns. So I might at some point make Oluwande's hat because it was cute.
Oluwande with his Crocs. His historically accurate Crocs.
The Swede.
Yep.
who he was in something else that I've watched recently. I don't remember what.
The teeth don't go back in.
Yep. Oh, we got way off. But the point is that we're making flags.
Yes.
So, I am going super high tech, and I'm using burlap because I got this as like scrap. There's a name for it. The
Fat quarter?
it's not a fat quarter.
Remnant?
It's remnant. That's it. Yeah, I got it from the remnant bin at Joanne for $1.80. I'm like,
Nice.
for $1.80, this is going to last well enough outside for what I need. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do a double thickness or a single. I don't know.
I just have part of a t-shirt
Nice.
and part of the leftover fabric from my Obi-Wan Kenobi costume.
Nice. What else did I grab? I grabbed some yarn and some thread and felt and a Sharpie and a couple of needles in assorted sizes. I've got yarn needles and like sewing needles and scissors. And I'm gonna wing it. I thought about grabbing a tape measure, and then I realized that I've got this lovely measuring mat
Hey.
on my table, so I don't have to worry about that. So, let's go ahead and start on making our flags and start talking about this show.
Okay. Well, I do want to say that on my flag is going to be... Oh, no.
Zoom, hiding things.
It's my dog.
It's a puppy! Oh, I saw it briefly.
You can't see it, but it's my dog. I'll
I
post
love
it in the Discord. But it's a profile of my dog that I traced
Aww.
in Adobe Illustrator. And then I traced it against the window using I think this is by Sharpie. No, it's by Pilot, a friction pen.
Oh, yeah. Those are fun.
So these write like a ballpoint, and then when you iron it, it disappears.
I like that part.
Yeah. And so I will be cutting it out and embroidering it onto my t-shirt scrap piece.
Yay! That's fun. I know that traditionally flags are wider than they are tall. But this is going to be a garden flag because I've got one of those little stand things in my yard because I'm that kind of person, apparently. I wanted to be the kind of person that would change out their flag seasonally. I still have a squirrel on mine right now. It says welcome. I think it was supposed to be fall, but I put that up after my Halloween one, which at least I took down by mid-November. Probably should have replaced it with something wintry, but you know. As much as I want to be that person, I'm not that person. So this pirate flag is going to go up, and it may stay up for a year or two. You know, as you do. Okay, so burlap is fun.
Can't say I've worked with it.
Well, I know to expect it to unravel on the edges.
Yes, which is kind of the look we're going for.
That's true. I'm trying to do math. If I want something that's 12.5 inches, and I'm starting at the 10-inch mark, I need to go to 22.5. I'm going to go a little bit wider because I want to be able to fray the edges intentionally, not just because they're going to fray. Because burlap. Oh, I forgot to say what I'm putting on mine. I'm making a skull and crossbones kind of look, but with a yarn ball and knitting needles instead. Because that is the person that I am. Knitting is life. Or something like
she's
that.
cut out and gone. Oh, there she is.
Oh, puppy. I love
Siggy the
way
Fierce.
Siggy just disappears sometimes. That's beautiful.
She has figured out how to walk without making her collar jingle, so sometimes she'll just creep out of the room.
That is a trick. My dogs do not have jingly collars, but they have clicky toes.
Uh-huh.
Well,
we have carpeted floors, so she just has little bedroom slipper feet.
Aw. Well, Molly has clicky toes. Hershey has, the vet called them Grinch feet, or Grinch toes. Because she's got such floofs. They're so floofy. She's a very floofy baby. Alright, now I have to do math again. I need it to be 18 inches. So 3 to the 21. But then I need to loop it over to make the top. I'll go 24, sounds good. Because that gives me, yeah, that's going to give me 3 extra inches. Yeah. For a second I was worried that I was mathing wrong, but no. So this show, I had heard about it for a while before I actually watched it.
I heard about it when it was announced, and I was like, give it to me now, my body is ready. Because A, pirate show, and B, Taika Waititi and Rhys Darby vehicle.
Yes.
Give me it.
Yeah, I was fans of everything that I'd heard about before it actually started. Just sounded good. So I was looking forward to it. But I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. You know, I figured, like, comedy-ish.
Yeah. I think it was marketed as, like, a dramedy, but I think it ended up being more comedy than drama.
Yes.
Had you ever heard of the story of Stede Bonnet before the show?
I had no idea. I didn't know that it was a thing.
Yes, I had learned initially about him from Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, where you briefly travel with him.
I wonder.
And he just seemed like an interesting guy.
I wonder if I knew about him and just forgot that I knew about him, because I've watched some of the Assassin's Creed games being played. I don't actually play video games myself because I'd rather be knitting, but I really like it when Jim plays video games and I get to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I've watched a lot of video games.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, burlap's gonna be a bitch to sew. That's fine. That's fine. So maybe I have heard of him and just didn't realize it?
He doesn't play a huge role in it, just like at the very beginning when you're learning how to pirate.
Okay. That's cool. I didn't know that Stede Bonnet was like a character outside of this show. So
yes, he was a real guy.
That's very cool. Was he a gentleman pirate as he is portrayed in this show?
Yes.
Nice.
Him kind of abandoning his family and running away to sea is accurate.
Okay.
There's an episode of the podcast Noble Blood, I believe, that talks further in detail about it. But yeah, he was just like, wanted to go play pirate.
To be the kind of rich bastard who could just go play pirate.
Oh, to have more money than brains.
Ah, Yep. I mean, brains are nice, but I don't know. Some days I would like more money than I have brains. That would be nice. So, was he at all connected with Blackbeard in reality?
Yes, they did sail together for a while.
Cool.
Whether or not they were lovers, nobody knows.
Yeah, so by the time I heard about it,
spoilers.
It was the gay pirate show. I'm like,
yes.
Okay, this sounds unique. Let's check it out. And I gotta say, it was more of a romance than I'd expected.
Yeah.
And
Like I had seen GIFs and sets, like photo sets prior to being able to watch it, prior to getting HBO Max.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, these are really good Photoshop jobs. That's they did a really good job in After Effects making them kiss like that.
But no! They actually did!
Yeah.
Yeah. I might have squealed kind of like that when they did. I was excited for them.
Yeah.
Like, this show, I am a romance lover. I like romance novels. I like stupid holiday rom-coms. Give me romance and I'm happy. And so this show just made my little romance heart sing.
Yay.
Well, because there's so many different relationships. And no one thinks any of them are weird.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Like, for the most part, nobody, like, bats an eye at Jim being non-binary. Like,
nope.
It's great.
That's just Jim. Okay,
that's just
cool.
Jim.
I love that.
If you're not Jim, can I be Jim?
Oh, that's sweet. I've got to figure out what I was watching that I know him from.
Yeah, we've got Blackbeard and Steed, Black Pete and Lucius.
Yep. Which was, like, subtly revealed. Like, I don't feel like it was a romance that blossomed. It felt like something that was already there that, we didn't hear about it yet.
Yeah.
But I liked that. And, like, the total lack of jealousy between the two of them, too. That was cool.
Yeah.
When he was drawing the other guy.
Bang, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for knowing.
Said something like we don't own each other or something like that.
Yep. Oh, I love it. I've already fucked up.
Oh no. I finally threaded my needles.
Yay! I am trying to unthread some stitches here. Because I did not pull my tail loose soon enough. That's fine. So yeah, we had Lucius and Black Pete and
Jim and Olu.
Yep. And of course Blackbeard.
Which was a nice, like, just nice romance.
It was.
Because they were friends, and then they were more than friends.
Yeah. And they were very sweet about it. It wasn't, like, creepy or anything. Because sometimes it can be weird if it's presented like that. But no, it was just sweet. And I love them all. And I want all the pirates to be in love. And
yes.
And even Jackie and her husband were entertaining.
Her husbands.
Husbands, yes. Although we mostly just saw Fred Armiston?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love that Jackie had multiple husbands. Yeah. And that she just had no problem shooting the one. Because, whatever, fuck it. So yeah, the types and variety and quality of the romances in this just made my heart sing. This is what I needed. I didn't know that I needed it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, even if it weren't the gay pirate show, I would still enjoy it because it's just a fairly lighthearted comedy. Yes.
And not, like, super slapsticky. Because apparently I've hit an age where I don't mind small amounts of slapstick or physical comedy or, even toilet humor, fine, haha, sometimes it's funny. But there comes a point where, like, a whole movie of it or a whole TV series of it is just like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy to continue watching this. But this was not all that. There were moments. There were things that just like, with the cutting off the finger.
Yeah.
Just, that was all sorts of gory and disgusting and fabulous, and I loved it. And it's fine. Oh, yeah,
And
now I see Greg helping with the numbers. Thanks, Knitting Daddy. I don't need the help with the numbers. I've done the math now.
and there was also some like alternate masculinity too. Like Blackbeard cries a lot.
Yeah, he does.
And nobody ever questions like this dude's the hardest dude on the ocean.
And he just cries, and that's just what
And sometimes he cries. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So we all have feelings.
With the exception of Izzy, who seems to be the toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Token
Definitely
asshole.
toxic.
Yeah. But
The actor, apparently a lovely person.
Oh, good. Just plays an asshole really well.
Yes.
But even a lot of that felt like it wasn't so much that he wanted Blackbeard to be a man. It was that he wanted Blackbeard to be the man that he knew before. He didn't want the change.
Yes, he wanted him to be the story.
Yeah. He didn't like change. So
Yes. One could draw some parallels to Black Sails where they kind of build up the story of Long John Silver, and the man is not quite like that. And then he has to live up to the expectations of being Long John Silver when he's just a little guy.
Aw. I need to watch that show too, I think. It is another one that's on my list.
It is a heavy show, so be in the right mindset.
That is good to know, because I have
It's
not been in
worth
a place
it.
for heavy yet.
I think it's worth it, but it can be quite heavy at times.
That is an excellent warning to have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna end up
I, as someone who has sailed on quote unquote pirate ships, enjoyed how badly they did. With like none of the sailing stuff is accurate at all. And it's like they didn't even try. So that kind of makes it better. Rather than like half-assing it, they didn't even ass it at all.
Yeah. You know, there's something to be said for just saying, fuck it, this is imaginary, and we know it. I think I would rather have that. The acknowledgement, basically, of, yeah, this is all pretend. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we're never going to get it right, so.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scene, do you think?
Ooh. Oh, see, that's tough, because...
Or maybe episode?
There were scenes that were, like, super satisfying to me.
Yeah.
Like the one where Steed and Blackbeard finally kiss. Like, yes! I've been waiting for this! We've all been waiting for this. I loved the episode where they were doing the treasure map.
Yes, that's a good one.
Where, you know, Lucius finally just comes right out and says, look, you like him, he likes you, figure this fuck out. And, yeah. I like that. That whole one was pretty cool, and the, Nana.
That's the same episode.
Yeah. But she was
fantastic. Nana's great. Yes.
And she is someone that I know from something else as well, and I can't remember what.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of faces that I'm like, I know that one, and I know that one, and I don't know why I know you. The Bard, Frenchie.
Yeah.
He was in the movie Yesterday, which I had recently watched again, playing a guy who carried around guitars.
Neat.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that one and you enjoy Beatles music, I recommend it.
I do not, but thank you.
But it was also a really cool, like, alternate reality setup. Have you heard about it at all?
Mm-mm.
So the plot of it is basically, it happens in the very first few minutes, so I'm not giving away anything big. The main character, is riding his bike when the entire world experiences a blackout. And as that is happening, he gets hit by a bus.
Oh dear.
And wakes up in hospital. And he is apparently, as far as he can tell, the only person in the world who remembers the Beatles.
Oh.
Like, the collective everyone else in the world has no idea who he's talking about. And so he starts, like, writing down all their songs and re-recording things, and he gets discovered and becomes really popular, and there's a whole bunch to do with that. But yeah, the gist of it is that the world forgot the Beatles, and he remembered them, so he just starts writing down all their songs.
Neat.
And so, yeah, there's a whole bunch of, like, covers of Beatles music, but it's not the Beatles singing it. So if you're not a fan of their song style specifically, you get a bunch of pretty cool covers. But I enjoyed the whole, suddenly no one knows who the Beatles are. And, you know, that changed a whole bunch of other stuff, too. Yeah. But that's
we'd have no lockdown Imagine video with celebrities.
Oh dear, whatever would we do without that? Yep. Whatever would we do?
The gentleman who plays Oluwande, Samson Kayo, I believe his name is in a dramedy from the BBC called Bloods, where he plays a paramedic.
Okay. Completely different character type. Cool.
It is available on Hulu, and Nathan Fode, who plays Lucius, shows up in season 2. And I was like, hey! I know that guy.
I feel like you did that on purpose. And I'm okay with that. If I were smart, I would have gotten out my rotary cutter to cut these straight lines, but that's okay.
I like the Art of Fuckery episode.
Oh, yes. That's the one with the finger.
Yes.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that one as well. I love the episode titles, too.
Yes.
I just love that they called it The Art of Fuckery. That makes me happy. What are you doing? Dogs being dogs. Trying to make sure they're not getting into anything. We have this fairly large, excessively large blanket that was a gift. It's a comforter for a king-size bed. But it is really big. And we tried washing it in our washing machine. And it was apparently too big for the washing machine.
Oh no.
And it got caught in places.
Oh no.
And so now there are rips in it. And I've mended the rips. But, you know, it doesn't look as nice anymore. And so I have just said, fuck it. The dogs like blankets. So I've piled it on the floor down here.
Ah,
There are dogs playing in the blanket now. So if you hear thrashing about, it is dogs playing in the blankets. And I am coloring in the end of some knitting needles that I'm going to cut out of felt because, quite honestly, I don't know where my black felt is, and I can't be fucked to find it. So
hey, that's okay.
we're just going to color in the ends with Sharpie, and that'll be good enough. Because this is going outside in my yard, and that will be good enough for me. And that's really what matters, is that it is good enough for me. Do you have a favorite character?
Oh, Moo.
I know, right?
Kind of love them all.
Yeah. It's hard to pick just one.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those...
It's such an ensemble cast. It's really hard to pick one.
Such a good ensemble, too. Like,
yeah.
There are some where you're like, yeah, it's an ensemble, but I like these ones better.
Yeah.
But this one? Mm-mm.
How about you?
I'm very much in the same boat of I love them all so much. I love the Swede's accent.
Yes.
It reminds me of my grandma and grandpa.
Oh yeah.
They're Norwegian, which is not Swedish,
but
it's a similar cadence to the speech.
Yeah.
And
I tell you who I did not enjoy, and it was Jack Rackham. Perhaps I'm spoiled with the portrayal of Jack Rackham in Black Sails, but I did not enjoy Will Arnett as Jack Rackham.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No tea, no shade, just not for me.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of the British, the twins, Chauncey and Nigel.
Yeah. Badminton.
Yes. And, I mean, I guess you're not supposed to be. So
no.
They succeeded in making me not like them. I am a big fan of Jim.
Me too. And Vigo Ortiz seems like a cool person.
That was a cool character and a very well done portrayal
and like sensitively done too. Like they never call Jim, at least to my recollection, they never really refer to them as a woman except like one point.
When they're just sort of finding out?
When they've like just revealed that the nose is fake.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
And I love that the nose being fake was the biggest concern.
Yeah, yeah. And then Nana like immediately switches to calling them Jim.
Yep. Yet another reason that Nana is fantastic.
Yes, we love Nana. I know he's terrible, but I weirdly like Izzy Hands too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more torn with him. I don't know. He very much rubbed me the wrong way, which, you know, I guess he's supposed to. But I think his voice bothered me too.
Oh yeah.
Like, and maybe it's just because I've been sick lately. It just made me want to clear my throat a lot listening to him.
And Con O'Neill just sounds like that.
Oh, okay.
That's just his voice. Yeah, like I saw him in something else. Did I see him in? And I remember, like, I Googled, Chernobyl. He was in Chernobyl, and I like had to Google this guy. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with his voice? And nope, that's just how he sounds.
He sounds like he's been smoking a pack a day since he was 10.
Yeah.
Just not ideal. I have just realized that this is going to be a one-sided flag, and there's not going to be anything on the other side yet. And I'm just going to be okay with that for now. Because I do not have enough felt to make another set of knitting needles.
Well, the ones you have are looking good.
Thank you.
I've got most of an ear. I'll show you when I'm done with it.
Yay. As I double check the time to make sure we're progressing nicely. Alright, so you're going to go over there. This is not one of the most entertaining ones for people to watch of us.
Yeah.
But that's okay. A lot of our stitching ones are not super entertaining. But hey, you got to watch me cut out stuff. How's that for thrilling? I did not expect the Blackbeard change at the end.
Oh, when he, like, became the Kraken?
Yeah. Although I love that's what he called it.
His little heart was broken.
Oh, absolutely. And I felt so sad for him.
Imagine when he hears that Steed died tragically by being attacked by a leopard, run over by a coach, and then smashed by a piano.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to break his heart. And then I feel like he's going to be mad when Steed shows up again.
Yes. They'll have some things to work out, that's for certain.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not... I don't like that Steed went back. I don't quite understand the logic there.
Compulsory heteronormativity.
I guess, yeah. This is what you were supposed to do. You made a vow,
and
so get your ass back there.
Yep. And the teasing from Chauncey Badminton, I think, just got to him.
Yeah.
But I like the way they handled him coming out to Mary as well.
Yes, that was so sweet and easy.
Yeah.
And she was so sweet about it, too.
Yeah, because she could have easily, like, turned him in.
Yep.
And gotten rid of him that way.
Yeah. The woman from Third Rock who played the friend.
The eye patch lady was from Third Rock?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's where I knew her from.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where I know her from.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I loved that character too. Just like, you know, I can take care of this.
Yeah.
Everyone needs that friend. That friend who just knows a guy.
And has a pet leopard.
Yes. Okay, so as I'm stitching this, there's this little bit of me with my perfectionist tendencies. It's like, those aren't like super nice, pretty stitches. And then the rest of my brain caught up and said, you're making a flag out of burlap like these pirates did by hand. It's okay.
And it's going to be seen from the road and nobody's going to be able to see it.
Yep. And if they care, that's their problem, not mine.
Yes.
I'm getting better about saying that. If they care, it's their problem, not mine.
I need to get better about saying that.
It has taken
Perfect
decades.
Is the enemy of good.
Yep.
Sometimes good enough is good enough.
Yep. I'm learning to delegate. A thing came up for a group that I work with where no one has contacted someone that needs to have a contract in place. And while I have the person's contact information, I passed it on and said, this is not my responsibility, but here's their information and how you can contact them. And that's that. And if they don't do it, then we don't have lights and sound for the show, and that's not my problem.
Nope, you did what you were supposed to do.
Yep. I do not have the time to do other people's jobs for them. I have my own official job and then unofficial stuff with all the podcasting and whatnot. I love that people come and chat with us, like Knitting Daddy.
Yes.
Comes for the craft, stays for the chat. I like that. I liked Steed's daughter too.
Alma, yes.
Like, even...
I like that she split the orange.
Yes, that was so sweet. And so much the sort of thing that feels right. I'm a military brat. My nibblings are military brats. And it sounds like the sort of thing that I would have done or that they would do. And, you know, something so that, you know, Dad thinks of me.
Yeah. And Steed clearly cares for his children, even if he's uncomfortable in a married state.
Yeah. And I loved how, even before he went and became a pirate, he played pirates with both of them, the boy and the girl.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, I think I just really have enjoyed a show that is not ridiculously, painfully heteronormative and forcing that view on the viewers.
Yes.
Because, yeah. It's one thing to be told you can be whatever you want to be, but another entirely to watch people being whatever they want to be.
Yes. Yes.
And that was nice.
Yes, we've got couples of all types, interracial couples. It's a grand old time.
Yep.
All right, I have an ear.
Oh, I love it! Aww. You're going to have such a cute puppy on your flag.
She does not have knives in her feet. She got them trimmed today.
Well, you know, for you, that is a good thing.
Yes, because she likes to jump up on me and stretch, and she's tall enough to where she just, like, claws my chest.
Oh.
I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
You have little tinies. I have a big girl.
Yeah, but my little tinies have bad habits. Like, the one who likes to wake me up in the morning by shoving herself between my head and the pillow. Like, she will get her head underneath my neck and just start lifting up to lift my head up.
Mother!
I am
violent.
I'm awake and you must be too. Okay, well, the sewing has made the burlap go a little wonky, but that's okay, because it's a pirate flag, darn it.
Yes.
It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be at sea.
Yes.
Or in the yard, whatever. Excuse me. I feel like my voice is finally starting to remain for a little bit longer in the day.
That's good.
I definitely was not going to be up for last week's scheduled crits and knits. I was getting growly by like 6. It's fine. It's fine. It's just a voice. Not important unless, you know, you're the DM.
Hmm.
But it's fine. It's fine. I was very sad about all the books being thrown in the ocean. That hurt my heart a lot.
Yes.
I'm a little bit of a...
And Lucius.
Yes, that too. We never saw him again.
No.
I don't want him to be dead, thank you. That would be bad.
Well, there are also Chekhov's secret passageways in the boat that Steed had installed.
Oh, right.
So general prevailing opinion is that Lucius is living in the walls of the boat.
I love that. Okay, that makes me happy. I will accept that. Sad that he got thrown overboard, but I don't want him dead.
And yes, you can call a ship a boat. When I was on the tall ships, we called them the boat all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I know nomenclature gets picky with some folks. So.
Yeah, some people get a little cray-cray about it. It's like, I am not DV. I am replacement DV, since somebody is on an actual boat.
That's right. DB is on a boat. I think.
Which I think was part of why we chose this show.
Yep. Because boat. But, okay. Threading needles is getting to be more of a challenge these days.
Oh.
The joys of aging. It's fine.
Yes, Knitting Daddy, a boat can go on a ship, but a ship cannot go on a boat.
Oh. Well, that makes sense. A ship is like a big boat.
Yes.
I was listening to Oh No, Ross and Carrie. Do you listen to that podcast at all?
I used to. Then I kind of stopped. It just wasn't as interesting to me anymore, and Carrie was starting to really irritate me.
Fair enough. Not everyone is for everyone. They just finished up a series where Ross went to the Ark Museum, the one that's in Kentucky.
Oh, maybe I will have to listen to that.
Yeah, that was interesting. It was a homeschool conference at the Ark Museum, and yeah, that was interesting. But, that just there was a lot of talk about the Ark not being a boat, which is what brought that up in my head. I forgot how long hand stitching takes. But it feels way better to do this than to try and do this particular thing on a sewing machine. And it gives me time to figure out how I'm going to do the yarn part. Because I haven't quite worked through the logistics of that yet. We could just get Johnny to build us a pirate ship.
That works.
Ooh, and then we can have the next GooseCon on a pirate ship. How's that?
We can rent out Mystic Seaport or the Kalmar Nickel. There's plenty of ships out on the East Coast.
Nice. Except for the part where I don't like boats in the water. But, you know, the rest of you can have fun.
Even big boat?
Even big boat. I suppose the biggest boat I've been on is a ferry. But I did not enjoy that either.
What if boat is at dock?
Still not a fan. I have a childhood trauma from boat.
Ah, understandable then.
And so it's just not my favorite thing. I try to avoid them when possible.
In that case, I know a boat that is encased in glass.
Ooh.
It's a museum. I think it's either up near the border of Canada or it's in Canada.
Okay.
But out on the west coast here. We went when I was still away in, so I don't remember what it's called, but I'm sure I could find it.
So
alternatively, we go visit Girundu, and hit up the Cutty Sark in Greenwich, which is also big boat on land.
I have been on boat on land and didn't mind. The Museum of Man and Nature in
Oh, that sounds
Winnipeg,
cool.
Manitoba. It's a fantastic museum. I love going there, even as an adult. It's cool. But we used to go all the time as like for school trips and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a boat called the Nonsuch.
That's a fun name.
I know, right? But it's a boat that has been put into the museum, and you can go into it, and it's fairly small, but like I'm cool with the Nonsuch. So stationary boats on land are fine. I think it's the water part that I'm not a fan of. And after my last attempted drowning in the ocean, I'm less of a fan of the ocean than before, so.
Well, now the lads have got me screaming about boats in the chat.
We love screaming about things. You can scream about it, like, in the us chatting, too.
Okay, I love boat.
Yay, boat!
That is my historical special interest. And how I learned to sail a pirate ship.
That is just a cool fact that you've done that.
Yes.
I like that.
Sailed on Hawaiian Chieftain primarily, and a little bit on Lady Washington. Lady Washington you will recognize from such films and TV shows as Once Upon a Time and Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one.
Oh. Man, I haven't
And
watched those.
most recently she was in a commercial for the Seattle Kraken, the hockey team.
I love that it's a hockey team called the Kraken.
And of course it is Release the Kraken.
Well, of course. Krakens just aren't generally associated with ice.
No. Can't remember what the other names they had thought of were, but there was one I liked better, but I can't remember what it was.
I mean,
Let me
it's still a cool
see.
name.
Oh, yeah.
But I would think it would be more like a water polo team.
The Evergreens, the Sea Lions, the Cougar, the Whales, the Renegades, the Firebirds, Kraken.
Okay. I mean, given all those, I'd probably vote for Kraken. Maybe Renegades. Yeah. Renegades is not bad. I'm not a big fan of animal names in general for sports teams, although I suppose technically a Kraken is kind of an animal. But it's not a real animal, so it's okay.
Sockeyes. I think that was the other one that I liked.
Okay.
Because salmon is a big thing over here.
Yep. I was going to say, those are fish. I remember fish. I took an ichthyology course.
Neat.
I fell asleep in it on a regular basis.
Oh, no.
It was so bad. But the instructor... Okay, so the class was... Oh, and I felt terrible. Because it was a small classroom. Like, it was more of a conference room than a classroom. It was a 4,000 level course. It was a senior level course. Like a fourth year university course. It was generally honors students that were in that class. There were like 10 of us. Mm-hmm. It was right after lunch. The room was warm. And the professor had a low, monotonous voice. And at any given time, if you looked around the table, there was at least one person asleep. And we all felt so bad. But it was... We'd just eaten and we were warm and cozy. We felt terrible. But I learned
took a marine biology course in junior high.
Nice. I took this course because I needed to learn about fish for my thesis. And I mean, I suppose I didn't have to take the course, but it worked well. It gave me extra knowledge that I could put in there.
Marine biology is something I'd be it was something I briefly considered studying, but then I was like, no, I'm going to be an artist.
Yay! Go art!
It's not worked out well.
Aw. Yeah. Well, we can see that I'm making great use of my biology degree lately, but that's fine. And even more use of my classics degree. Actually, I probably am making more use of my classics degree with all the storytelling and shit that I do.
Yeah.
My D&D home game, we're working on... we're getting close to wrapping up our long-term campaign. We've been playing for just over 3 years now.
Oh, wow.
And we're getting close to wrapping up, but no one really wants to stop playing. So we've started the world building process for our next campaign. Because we've decided we're going to keep playing. But we're homebrewing the world. And we've decided that this next campaign is going to be all based in a single city. It's the one that they're playing right now. They've been traveling all across the world and doing lots of stuff and lots of travel time, which is fine, but I'm running out of things to do travel-wise that are interesting and new.
Are you going to DM the next bunch?
I am.
Are you the forever DM?
I am. And that's okay. They're each going to try, like, DMing a one-shot at some point, like, in the transition time between the end of the current campaign and the beginning of the new one.
Mm-hmm.
So that I get a little bit of time to, like, plan and things. And one of the players has DM'd a couple of one-shots for us before. We all, like, we didn't join a chicken cult. We found a chicken cult. Like a chicken worshipping cult. It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us wanted to play in that world again, but apparently she doesn't have any more stories in that world, which is sad. Because chicken cult. But, yeah, we're going to have some extra games, extra stories in between, but no one else wants to run, like, a full campaign. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. But they're all doing they're going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting in terms of building the world. So I've given them all handouts on Google Docs with a whole bunch of
Durg.
I love that it hides you briefly before it pops back in. But yeah, I've given them all handouts, and I'm like, okay, so I need to know all your regular character details, your class, your race, your age. I want you to tell me where you live. I want the street name. I want to know who your neighbors are. What are their names? What are their occupations? What do they look like? Tell me about your family. Tell me about your siblings and your parents. Tell me about the guy you work for. Tell me about where you work. What's it called? Where's it located? I'm
What's their tax bracket?
Basically, give me all the details. Because we're building this whole city, darn it. We're building this whole city. I have
all the admiration in the world for people who can do that. I have to DM out of a book because I just cannot hold all that in my brain.
Well, I've got a World Anvil account. So I'm trying to organize the whole world in there. So that I don't have to hold it all in my brain. Plus, like I said, I'm making each of them tell me all about everyone in their character's life. So I'm not coming up with all of it. So we're going to have a big reference material for them to draw from. They're not going to have to, like, go searching for a map for a place. They're going to be able to know that oh, well, to get to this place, you just go past Joe's restaurant and turn left and go 3 blocks and you're there. Because they all grew up in this town, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have a lot of access to these maps and stuff themselves, which is nice because that means one less thing that I have to worry about finding for them and like handing out secretly or whatever. I'm getting excited about it.
That's good.
And they live on a port, so there's going to be pirates.
Hey.
Which ties into today, because pirates. I am getting terribly close to the end of stitching these knitting needles, and I still haven't figured out how I'm attaching the yarn to make the yarn ball of the skull and crossbones look. And now I'm wondering if I should be putting this in my yard, given that there's so many kids around. That'll be fine. And if someone has a problem, they'll put a passive-aggressive note in my mailbox, or they'll steal my flag, one of the two.
You live in that kind of neighborhood.
No. No. I just assume that's what people will do. Or they'll just not say anything because, you know, that's a lot of effort. Though I think I am going to, after we're done, go up to my button box and find some buttons to put on the ends of the knitting needles. Because the black
that'll be cute.
Isn't doing it for me. I think it'll look good with like a shiny button on the end.
Yeah.
Aw, thanks, Greg. Whew. Lots of stitches here. I kind of like the rustic look.
Yeah.
And really, I can only be so even with my stitches on burlap because burlap is not even. So I have to tell myself
it is not.
Okay. Oh, that was a big sigh. I have sleepy puppies. The pigeon! The pigeon that got hit with the whip. And then his wife came.
Oh, Carl. Carl the seagull.
The seagull, yes. Not the pigeon, the seagull. And his wife, Olivia.
Yes.
Oh, man. I
that was
distraught.
startling.
Yes. Don't kill the seagull. What did it ever do to you?
What was it? They made a 2 crabs fight or a crab fight a turtle or something like that?
Yeah. Oh, that was good too. How do I want to do this? Alright, we're gonna try something. And it may or may not work. We will find out the hard way. Because that's how I roll. I do love my little needle holder.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, stretch it out then. Puppies are being growly. All right.
So my vicious pirate dog gets confused by doors.
Oh.
Like if I go into the bathroom and close the door, I'll hear outside, ooh.
Oh. Where'd you go?
Like,
Paige?
I'm in here.
Why did you abandon me? It's like having a toddler.
Yeah.
No peeing alone for you ever again.
Except mine doesn't scream quite as much as a real toddler.
That's nice. I feel like mine do. My girls are loud. Okay. I might be onto something here. Lots of stitching, but still.
Now I want to go to museums. We were talking about museums, and now I want to go to a bunch of museums.
Museums are the best. It's just a fun way to learn cool stuff.
Yes. I love to learn.
It's much more hands-on than just reading stuff on a website. What did I do here?
In fact, there's a maritime museum out here that I wanted to go to with my friends who are no longer my friends, but we're no longer friends, so we're not going.
Oh.
Went there many years ago with my parents, and we made rope.
Oh, fun. I like that you
my
can
dad
just
still
do
has
that
it
sort of
somewhere.
stuff. Too tight. I should have drawn a circle before I started stitching. But that's okay. We're gonna make it work anyway. So Johnny says his dog never barks, just makes weird sounds.
That must be nice. Got a barker.
One of mine
But
barks
mostly
inside, one barks out.
She's usually pretty quiet, but if somebody dares to walk on her street,
Oh, yes.
or if somebody comes to the door, and God forbid they knock, like even if you just like knock on a table, she'll start barking.
Oh, yeah.
She thinks it's somebody at the door.
The next door neighbors got a basketball hoop for Christmas.
Oh no.
And oh boy. Oh boy.
Doggies do not like?
No. They don't like the existence of the basketball hoop, much less when people play with it.
Oh no.
So anytime they go outside now, they're like, hey, there's a thing there. There's a thing there. I'm like, yes. Yes, that's just going to be there now, babies. It's okay. No, it's not okay. Okay. Yep, I really should have drawn a circle. That's okay. Rustic. I'm going for rustic.
Rustic, yes. That is exactly it.
This is a pirate flag, darn it. If it also ends up being a work of art, cool. But it is primarily a pirate flag.
I like that at the end of the episode, Steed had all the flags on the boat.
Yes.
After reading them all a bedtime story.
He's such a good captain. Okay, I like how this is turning out.
Good.
Better than I thought it would. Of course, it means that I'm going to use up all of this yarn, which is fine.
Doesn't look like it's your good expensive yarn, so I think we're all right.
No, but it was my my Baby Yoda yarn.
Oh.
We're just gonna. There we go. Now I drew a little bit of a circle. I've got some guidance. Although it's been years since I've crocheted a Baby Yoda, so I guess it doesn't matter.
A brand new sentence right there.
Yeah, sometimes the words that come out of my mouth are just weird. The way that I live my crafty life is special.
My crafty life. It's going to be your reality show.
I don't know that anyone would watch it. And again, maybe they would.
Maybe they would. People watch this.
That's true.
And it would probably just be this, but with higher production value.
Depends on which networks pick me up, of course.
Yep. You're going to be on E! Exclamation point.
Yes.
Or Bravo.
I feel like Bravo would maybe do that. TLC. No, I don't have enough children to be on TLC.
Have you seen the show with, oh, what's his name? Ron Swanson.
Oh, the Making It.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I love watching that when it comes out.
I think you'd be good on that show.
I feel like I would too, especially after doing all this stuff.
Yes.
I feel like I could just send them a link to the podcast or to the
Yeah.
stream as my audition. Like, here.
Yeah.
Look at what I do.
Especially if they have someone whose like primary medium is balloon sculpture. Like you do way more than that.
Yeah. My primary medium is yarn and knitting, so a lot of what I do would not be able to be done in the time frames of their challenges.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Wait, you're a pretty fast knitter though.
I am, but it still takes like a month to knit a sweater. Although I do have a knitting machine. I haven't got it set up. It's been living in my garage for about 4 years. Pre-pandemic.
Ah. Did you get it at a Goodwill?
No. My dad is a realtor, and one of the houses he was selling, they had it, and needed to find a new home for it. And he said, well, my daughter knits. And they said, here, take it.
Nice.
So he got the knitting machine and like 6 boxes of accessory stuff. And
very nice.
yeah, it's great. But I really need to like sit down and figure out exactly how it works. Because there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have not done that yet. Also, I have a quilting stand. I have never quilted. But I have a quilting stand. But that was another one that just sort of came into my life. I'm pretty good about collecting random stuff. Pretty lucky that way.
Knitting Daddy wants a circular sock knitting machine, he says.
Oh, yes. I want one of those. I feel like that would be a more efficient way to use up some of my sock yarn collection. And maybe make it not sable anymore.
Remind me what that stands for?
Stash acquisition beyond life expectancy.
Ah.
I probably have more yarn than I can knit before I die. Probably. I'm working on it. It's a thing that I'm going to talk about on the next Crits and Knits, as we talk about resolutions and New Year's plans and knitting.
We were supposed to have resolutions.
Well, not resolutions, but like knitting plans for the year. And I hesitate to call it a resolution, but
goal.
A goal, yeah. Well, and I've heard a lot of people talking about having a word for the year that sort of helps them set their intentions and stuff. And I picked a word for the year.
Oh.
And my word is finish. Because I have no problem with the idea of having multiple projects going at the same time. I think that's great.
Yeah, sometimes you need a break from one project, but you want to keep doing something.
Exactly. However, I have counted the number of projects in my piles. In my whip piles. And I'm starting to feel that perhaps I need to finish a few things before I start anything else. And by a few, I mean I have like 20-something whips.
Ooh, that's more than you said last time. You did a whip count.
Yeah, the count has not gone down. I finished a couple of things, but they were things that I started new. Well, that didn't help the count at all. So, yeah, I might have a few things on the go. Just a couple here and there. But I finished a project last night. Oh, I meant to bring it down to show. Oh well. It is going to someone else. It is going to be sent. But there's a chance that I won't have to send it before the next Crits and Knits, so I'll be able to show it there because it is a knitted thing.
I mean, you can always post it on the Instagram.
Yeah, I will definitely be doing that. But it was a fan project.
Ooh.
How am I doing this? That way. And I'm sending it to the player of the character.
Oh, is this your one for
the cast party?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm very excited about it because it's adorable. Okay, where does this need to go across? Oh look, I can get a good overhead view here. Yeah, this feels like a good place to go across.
It's looking good.
Thank you. It was an excellent plan for me to draw a circle. Because now my yarn ball is looking ball-shaped. Whereas before I was afraid that it was going to just be yarn blob.
Not the yarn blob.
Oh no! It attack! I'm missing a dog. But my alarm just rang to indicate that it is time for medicine, so she may actually be upstairs in the kitchen waiting for her medicine. Because she is a friggin' canine alarm clock, that one.
Yep. Siggy can tell time too. She's like, 7:30, it's bedtime. I have to get up very early to go to work.
Oof.
So we go to bed very early.
Yep. Yeah, Hershey, who is probably upstairs waiting for her medicine, is the one who gets her head under my head in the mornings.
No.
Nope, time to get up, Mom. But she has learned what 5 more minutes means.
Haha.
Which is fantastic. So, the alarm goes off, I hit snooze and say 5 more minutes. And she gives a huff. And then flops over and curls up behind my knees. I'm like, yep, that's what I need, is a dog who's brilliant like that. And will let me have that 5 extra minutes that I need.
So funny when they teach themselves things like that.
I know, right? It's the best. They're such smart critters.
Sometimes they're dumb and can't tell that you've just closed a door.
Yes, that too. They're brilliant idiots. I love it.
God's perfect idiot.
Okay, let's look at it from above. Does it look like I need to fill in anywhere else?
It's pretty good to me.
Yeah, I feel like this is where I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to stitch some yarn in place. As like a little tangly bit. As I try to lay out in the screen. I think I like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut off there-ish. Put away this needle before I lose it. Put this in the scrap fabric pile. I found a fabric recycling site called 4 Days. It was shown to me on Instagram, but they do fabric recycling, any sort of fabric.
Oh.
And they call themselves like an alternative to Goodwill, because Goodwill often can't sell a bunch of the stuff that you donate, and it just ends up in landfills anyway. And I had a whole bunch of I work in the medical field and wear scrubs to work, and a bunch of my scrub pants were starting to fall apart. And so it's not like I can donate them somewhere else, because I'm literally wearing holes in them. And like holes in the middle of the fabric, because I've been wearing them for like 15 years. So it's not something that I can really repair. I have repaired stuff in the past. I'm quite confident in my abilities to stitch well enough to, you know, manage that. But there comes a point where you can't repair anymore. You just have to replace. And I had a whole bunch of pants that I was like, well, I can't donate these because they're falling apart. But I don't want to just throw them out, because that's a big old waste.
Then you feel bad.
And yeah, so I found this company and ordered one of their giant bags. And basically you just fill it with all the fabric that you can, and send it back.
Hmm.
And they recycle it all.
That sounds very intriguing because I have many socks that are beyond repair, but I feel bad just throwing them out.
Yep. And you can only use so many for like dusting,
Yeah.
which, I will do, but again, you don't need a dozen dusting socks. But I'd heard, I want to say one of the podcasts that I listened to, or maybe it was a knitter that I follow on Instagram, whose knitting group went in on a bag together and used it to put all their like yarn scraps, all their little ends of yarn. They had just been collecting them in a bag.
Oh, they'll take yarn ends?
Yep, because it's fabric.
Oh. Oh.
So I have a little bag of yarn scraps. And, I use some of them for, like, stuffing toys, but again, there comes a point where I don't have any more toys to stuff. But I've got a lot more yarn scraps. And so I'm going to empty those into one of the bags as well.
Well, hey.
That's going to be a
And
nice
is this spelled F-O-R or
Yes.
F-O-U-R?
F-O-R. 4 days. I want to say it was like 15 or 20 bucks for the bag. But that includes all the shipping and everything.
Hmm.
So that's what I decided to do. I haven't sent it back yet because holidays and craziness, and it arrived just before my parents got into town, and yeah.
Oh yeah, 20 bucks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'll let you know how the return process is, but I'm excited about this as an idea to, ethically get rid of scraps of stuff.
I know H&M takes scrap clothes as well, but they have their own ethical concerns.
Yeah. Well, at least they know their clothes are scrap.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fast fashion industry.
Ah, yes.
Speaking of fashion, how good were the costumes on this show?
Fan-friggin-tastic! I loved them. They were... I loved the variety of it, too. From, like...
Yes.
The like, crazy leathers that Blackbeard wore.
Yes.
To...
It's a weird little crop top.
Yes. And the one-sleeve jacket, that is such a distinctive thing. I feel like that's going to be cosplayed a lot in the next little while.
Oh, it is. I'm on that side of TikTok.
Nice. I am the old and do not do the TikTok, but people
I resisted for quite a
Reels,
while.
So
I enjoyed all of Steed's little outfits too.
yes, the fabrics were glorious. The colors, the style in general is just beautiful. Am I done?
Blackbeard's outfit for the party on the fancy boat.
Yes!
That purple ensemble.
Oh, yes, that was fantastic. And I love the pirates, because they all were unified in that they were kind of grungy and very worn looking, but they all each still had their own style.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just put everyone in the same thing and call it a day.
Yeah, it wasn't like a uniform.
Yeah. Oh, but those British uniforms were... yes. loved that. Oh, yeah. I'm interested to see how Blackbeard's beard is portrayed by cosplayers, how they end up doing that. So
They do it somehow. Because
yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it looks so cool.
Part of me wants to make one out of yarn.
Yep. I have a pattern for that.
I've also found patterns for that.
I mean, who doesn't love having a yarn beard? Johnny has a yarn beard. Well, Johnny has a yarn tentacle beard. Excuse me? Oh, are we about to have murder time? I don't know if you guys can hear the puppy in the background.
I cannot.
She is having a discussion with her tail.
Oh.
I feel like she is about to start wandering after it, as she occasionally does. Yes, the Davy Jones hat. That's the one that I made for Johnny. And it has a detachable beard.
Oh, nice.
So that it can be worn as just a hat. Or as a Davy Jones tentacle beard hat. I really need to finish writing up the pattern for that.
I am sure it would get a lot of heat. Like, good heat.
Yeah. I find that cosplay patterns in general tend to be fairly popular. Because there's something about knitting a whole outfit that's just kind of cool.
Yep.
I kind of want to do that. And I know that I can because I knit a whole friggin' dress, so... And I have patterns for pants. I have 2 patterns for pants. One's more of a jogger style. That's a little bit bloomery. And then the other is a palazzo pant with the wide
Ooh.
legs. And yes, I know that Greg thinks pants are overrated, but knit pants are kind of cool. I'm not sure how I feel about the swants, but have you
What is a swants?
That is the sweater pants that Stephen West did several years ago, where he converted sweaters into pants.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a thing. Yep, swants.
I tried knitting pajama bottoms once, but I got to a point where I was just like, this looks like a diaper, and gave up.
Yes.
And frogged it.
I've looked at a couple of patterns, and there are 1 or 2 of them that look like diapers. I'm like, no. But the palazzo pants do not look like that.
That's good.
And the joggers don't. And Megan Williams has a pattern recipe for making leggings, knit leggings.
Ooh.
I'm like, those would be comfy. And she's got like a whole bunch of, it's one of those, you have to do a whole bunch of measurements and try on a lot to make sure that they're progressing the way they should. But yeah, I'm kind of tempted. I live in leggings outside of work. I might have a problem. I definitely have a collection.
Well, if you wear them all, then it's not a problem.
Well, that's the thing. Is my standard after work, when I'm not streaming and paying attention to what I'm wearing, is I have a stack of t-shirts and a stack of leggings, and I put on the top in each pile.
Well, there you go.
And sometimes they match, and sometimes they don't, and my dogs don't care. And my husband doesn't care. Or if he does, he hasn't said anything to me. But he wears...
Or around the bottom of the neck.
Oh, yay! Are you going to do a different color for the collar? Or are you going to...
You know, I hadn't thought about it. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to leave it black and white. Make it piratey. I was originally going to do white on black, and then I was like, then I won't be able to see the pattern, so let's not do that.
That would be hard. Yeah. Yeah, this way, you still have white on black, but it's black on white on black, so.
Yes. And this can be seen from a distance, so they know I'm coming.
That's what matters. I think I am pleased with this yarn and needles. I definitely do feel like it needs something extra on the needle ends.
Yeah, I think buttons will be perfect.
Yeah. And I think I've got some gold ones. I think gold is going to be the best. Because it'll
shine in the sun.
Shiny and bright. I have no idea how this will handle the weather. Oh, which reminds me, I've got another pair of ends to tie. Make some good knots. Oh, yeah, now she's chasing her leg.
Mm.
And then... Huh, I stitched right through you. Excellent. Do one more set of stitches there. Oh, there's a noise. Oh, Knitting Daddy just subscribed with Prime.
Woo!
Thanks, Knitting Daddy. We appreciate the sub. Oh, look, it puts it up in the middle of the screen. Huh. I forgot that I had that stuff programmed.
Apparently he just figured out how Twitch subs work.
Well, good. I'm glad that you figured it out. Just in time to sub to the best crafty, geeky network available.
Honk honk.
Honk honk. Excuse me, miss. Yes? Oh, I see you. Oh, there's a puppy.
I see the puppy on my screen.
Yeah, the rest of you can't see
You guys can't see the puppy. Ha 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 ha.
But she's there and she's being cute. And needy. Because that's what she is. That one was Molly. And then, oh, I hear Hershey's jumping up in front of me, where you can't see because she's covered by the table. But rest assured, there is a second dog. There we go. There we go. I may...
Gorgeous.
I may give it like a little wad of hot glue on the knots later to keep them from coming out. But I like it. I like that I left this last little bit sort of
dangly,
free and wild.
Yeah.
And it's sort of pulling weirdly, and it's burlap, so the whole bottom has gone wonky. It's not parallel anymore. Let's see if
it's got a little scurvy. It's fine.
It does have a little scurvy. The teeth don't grow back. Oh, lost a fingernail. It's fine. It's fine. Oh. Well, I am pleased with how this turned out.
Good.
And I will probably switch it out tomorrow. Yeah, I don't have anything happening tomorrow after work, so I will take it outside and switch it out with my squirrel. So the squirrel will be
hot damn
with knitting. Although maybe I should do something on the back side, because that's the other side, which is a little bit boring. Maybe I'll think of something for the backside before I hang it up.
Actual skull and crossbones.
Yes. But that'll just be cut out of felt and hot glued on.
Yep. You fake them out. You're like, I'm a pirate. Oh, but I'm knitting.
Oh, yes. Yes. I like it.
Well, alas, I chose a complicated embroidery stitch to do, so I'm still pecking away at it, but we're getting there.
You've made lots of progress. That's more than I would have expected.
Doing the chain stitch.
Ooh,
so
yeah,
it's
that one is
bold.
Yes. Which means you can see it from C.
Exactly.
Oh, hi, Mal. Hi. Do you want to come see my podcast friends? My stream buddies? Yeah? Come here. As she runs away.
No.
Nope. You want to go upstairs? Okay, go upstairs. Oh, they want me to come upstairs. Well, that's not happening yet.
Oh.
Not yet. It is like having a toddler. There's a reason that I don't have a toddler. Because I have enough with the pups. Oh, hi, baby. And now they're both under me. That's fine. I'm going to have to put my hands up here and pretend I'm still doing stuff so that they stop trying to get pets. And I don't have a whole lot of waste.
That's good.
And I still have half a sheet of burlap. Half a remnant of burlap. So I could make another flag.
Hey, you could. Do you have any predictions for season 2?
I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go with it. I want Steed and Blackbeard to get together properly.
Yes.
I think everyone probably wants that.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to give it to us, but I want it.
I think they're going to make us wait for it. I don't know if they're going to make us wait the whole season, but I think we're going to have to wait for it.
Yeah. I'm glad that Jim and Olawande are together.
Yes.
I hope
But they're separated right now because Olu's stuck on the island.
Yes. So...
And Jim got Jim-napped.
Yeah. And I didn't like the way What's-His-Face was looking at Jim at the end there.
No, but that actor had a scheduling conflict and will not be back for season 2, so that may remain unresolved.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'm okay with that because it could have resolved very badly. Don't hurt Jim.
Or Jim will hurt you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we've seen what Jim can do. Jim's very good with a knife.
Yes.
And they don't have to have the knife on them to be able to acquire a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, given where Steed ended up, I'm assuming that Steed is going to reunite with the crew that's been left behind. And I wonder how long it's going to take for them to catch up with the rest of the ship. Like, I don't see them doing that right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Several episodes.
And what happened to Blackbeard's actual crew?
Yeah.
Like, he has his own ship. Where are they?
I don't know. We haven't seen them since, like, episode 2 or 3, was it?
Yeah.
And even then, we didn't see Blackbeard's ship. Blackbeard just showed up on the Spanish ship.
Yeah.
Is he even the real Blackbeard? I'm sure he is.
The real Blackbeard was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I've got little bits of burlap all over my legs.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's fine. I'll use a lint roller. It'll be cool.
I saw somebody tweeted or something that Black Pete obviously adopted the name Black Pete to sound scary like Blackbeard, so does he think Blackbeard's name is Beard?
Given what we've seen of Pete, I would not put that out of the realm of possibility. He's
a lovable doofus.
Yes. Yep. Yep. That is accurate.
Oh no, I've made a knot.
Oh no.
no, I've made it worse.
Oh no. And I've realized that I need
We
to
might just have to snip that off.
do this just in case.
Snip. Right, problem solved.
Yay! We like solving problems.
With knives.
Yes. I'm just getting, oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's fine. We're just gonna leave that. There's a chance that my phone is going to die and just pop out of the call, so we'll lose this. But that's okay, because I have the 2-camera screen pulled up. But it is also 8:56, because time flies when we're crafting and having fun and talking about pirates. Oh, and it is now officially murder time under my feet here. And I'm surprised that it is not more audible, but that's cool. That's cool. There's growling and gnashing of teeth and clicking of toes.
I heard like 2 tippy taps and that was it. Well, this is how far I got.
That is... As it goes away completely. I love it though. It's great.
Yay!
I'm so excited to see how it looks when it's all done.
Me too. I will definitely send you a picture for the Instagram.
Excellent. We'll post it on the Instagram and we will stick it in the Discord, because you should check out the Majestic Goose Discord. There is a whole channel there for That's Pretty Crafty, where we will let you know about stuff coming up. And what else? We do other things. We talk about stuff. Girl.
We bark.
We bark. We bork. Much bork. And I realize now that I should have pulled up my documents earlier, but that's okay. I'm doing it now so that I can mention what we're going to talk about next time. Although,
When DB is back.
Yes, when DB is back.
You only get me as a special treat.
But it has been a treat, and I've been enjoying it very much.
Yes, I've had a very nice time.
So, fun fact, we don't have anything on the list. It's fine.
Oops.
So, stay tuned to the Discord, because Dee Dee and I will decide what we're going to do, and then we'll post it in there. There are all sorts of options. If anyone has anything they would like to see us talk about, let me know.
Have you done The Mummy with Brendan Fraser?
We have not. We really should. What would be a good mummy craft?
Build your own cartouche.
Something with gilding, something with beetles. I have scarab beetles somewhere. From when I went through my Egypt phase. As
you do.
As you do, yes. My sister actually just sent me a text a couple days ago. Like, do you remember reading a book about Egypt when we were kids? Yes, the book called The Egypt Game. And she's like, yeah, that's the one. You think Mom and Dad still have it in their basement? Maybe. But we both read it and both enjoyed it. But yes, we were both very into Egypt for a little while. I got to go to the Ramses exhibit at a museum somewhere in Texas.
Ooh.
I was young. I think I was like 4th grade, maybe 5th grade.
That's when I went through my Egypt phase.
I mean, that's just the right age for it, right? I think that's when we're learning about it in elementary school. There was a whole Egypt unit. And I was part of the search program. And they took...
I like the gifted kids.
Yeah. They took the whole busload of us from Oklahoma to Texas to see this exhibit. So
I thought you were Canadian.
I am.
Okay.
But we were living... My dad was Air Force, so we did an exchange program for 4 years.
Oh.
So this was when we were living in Oklahoma. And, yeah, they did an exchange with us, and we went down there.
I got to her bottom lip. That's where we'll call it.
I love it. I'm so excited to see how it turns out.
Me too.
And yes, Greg's kid is going to hit the Egypt phase any day now.
Yes.
I have resources.
You could. Oh, DB doesn't know how to crochet. I was gonna say you could crochet a scarab beetle.
Ooh. We could teach DB to crochet. She learned to knit for the show. We'll teach her to crochet. It's
Oh,
fine.
well, okay then.
Yeah. She's gonna kill me when she hears this. That's fine. Yep. Yeah, we'll figure out something. I like the idea of doing the mummy. Because we could talk about a lot of things with the mummy.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, that is our show. E, tell us where we can find you on the interwebs.
You can find me on the interwebs, most places as Haulaway, Haulaway. On Twitter, there's an underscore between Haul and Away because somebody else took
Aww.
Haulaway, all one word. You can find me here on the Majestic Goose Network on Crits and Knits.
Yay! And you can find me all the places as Danielle Lenoir and hanging out here on the Majestic Goose Network, doing a whole bunch of stuff. Please come check us out in Discord. We have lots of fun there. We have pictures of animals, including the bunny Beef and his new sister Broccoli.
Ah!
Yes, we love Beef and Broccoli. They are excellent buns. They do not get along well yet. That's fine. But we will be back here in 2 weeks with more That's Pretty Crafty and probably the mummy or maybe something else. We'll figure it out. Check the Discord to see. Keep an eye on our Twitter, which is crafty_pretty, and our Instagram, That's Pretty Crafty. And I believe that is all. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.